Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here once again at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for day number 2 of Indianapolis 250 qualifications. It's the last 9 and fast 9 shootouts, and we begin the day with the more treacherous of the 2 shootouts, the last 9 shootout, and in this qualifying session we will eliminate 3 drivers from competition. So the slowest 3 here in this last 9 shootout will fail to qualify for the Indianapolis 250. We have 9 drivers here in the last 9 shootout. They were the 9 slowest drivers yesterday in single car qualifications for day number 1. Noah Clifton, Josh King, Nathan Stapleton, Zack Winkle, Tristen Allen, Mason Brown, Brandon Nelson, Ace Garcia, and Christian Master. That is the official qualifying order for this session, and they will qualify from slowest to fastest based off of yesterday's qualifying times. Everyone will have 1 lap. It'll be done just like it was yesterday, and that 1 lap stands as your last 9 shootout time. The fastest 6 times in the session will go on to race in the Indianapolis 250 and start in positions 28, I should say, to 33, and the slowest 3 in the session will fail to qualify. You will see the leaderboard on the left of your screen as we go through the session, so you know what the times are for each of the drivers in this session. And it's going to be intense here because 1 fraction of a second could be enough to knock you out of competing in this year's Indianapolis 250. We have 3 Indy 250 only drivers in this last 9 sessions, so that definitely is going to make it interesting. But odds are we're probably going to have a full-time guy miss out on the Indianapolis 250 again. We're just going to have to see. Nobody in this session is safe until they get out there and post the fast time that they can post. And hopefully for them, it's one of the 6 fastest times in this last 9 shootout session. Let's go ahead and get started. Begin with yesterday's slowest driver, Noah Clifton, in the number 23. And we'll see what he can do in his qualifying time here in the last 9 shootout for the 2020 Indianapolis 250. And here we go for our first driver in the last 9 shootout. It was the slowest driver yesterday, Noah Clifton, in the number 23. And interestingly enough, Carlin Racing has both of their drivers in this last 9 session. Actually, if you really want me to be technical, they have 3 drivers in this session because that 66 that Zack Winkle is driving was also a Carlin car last year. They're not looking too good, just like they were last year. But we'll have to see how it all goes down. The wind speed has picked up by 4 miles per hour, and it's 1 degree warmer, so the times are most likely going to be a little bit slower today than they were yesterday. Clifton ran a 41.297 yesterday in single-car qualifications. Let's see what he can do here in the last 9 shootout. Off at turn 2, he's 2:10. That's a pretty fast time right there, at least compared to yesterday, but like I said, the weather conditions are slightly different. So that could be fast for yesterday's standards, but it might not be fast for today's standards. 2:13 off of turn number 3 for Noah Clifton. And he's going to hit 2:11 off of turn number 4. Looks like the wind speed might be catching the car a little bit there off of turn number 4. At the stripe, Noah Clifton will clock in at a 41.195. It is faster than what he ran yesterday. But we'll have to see what it compares to the other guys here in this last 9 shootout. Noah Clifton, 41.195. Put it on the board. He's currently 28th. And the next driver in line, the number 18 of Josh King, who surprised us a little bit yesterday. He was the fastest in practice on Friday, but ended up qualifying 35th yesterday in single-car qualifications. Ran a 41.278. We'll have to see what Josh King can do here. It seems like coming off of turn number 4 is a little bit slower than it was yesterday. Noah Clifton hit a 2:11, but still ran a faster time than he did yesterday. But off of turn number 2 is a little bit faster, so coincides a little bit better through those corners. We'll have to see how Josh King compares to Noah Clifton here. How fast is Clifton's time with these weather conditions? Josh King off of turn number 1, 214 miles per hour. And he really slows it down there. 209, 208 through turn number 2. And that was considerably slower than Noah Clifton. We'll have to see what Josh King can do here through turn number 3. Off the corner to 12 for a considerable amount of time, and now through turn number 4. Noah Clifton ended up hitting 211 off that corner. King was 213, so we'll have to see what he can clock in here. Compared to Noah Clifton, he goes 41.209. Clifton is faster. Josh King, slowest of the 2 drivers so far here in the last 9 shootout. Might have to see here. Josh King might be in a bad position here. He might get knocked out with that time. We'll just have to see. Next driver in line, Nathan Stapleton in the number 34. Indiana native Nathan Stapleton coming out in the last 9 shootout. I am sure this is not where he wanted to be coming into this race. I should say coming into this qualifying session. But unfortunately, he was the 34th slowest driver, or should I say 34th fastest driver. The 3rd slowest yesterday. Ran a 41.263 yesterday in the first day of qualifications. I think the track is a little bit faster now than it was yesterday. Just a little bit. It's slower in certain parts of the racetrack, but faster in other parts. Entering turn number 1, they're going a little bit faster than they were yesterday. Both drivers so far, Noah Clifton and Josh King, have run faster lap times than they did yesterday. Nathan Stapleton across the line. He's going to hit 227 entering turn number 1. We'll have to see if that helps him out here on this lap. Going to be interesting to see what he can do off of turn number 2. 209 for a little bit there, but nothing too drastic. Looking pretty good right now for driver number 34, Nathan Stapleton. Down the backstretch. The wind is still against the race car down the back straightaway. He heads down the 210, though, off of turn number 3. That's the slowest we've seen all day, I believe. But off of turn number 4, 213's the lowest for him. Coming across the line, Nathan Stapleton in the last 9 shootout. He's going to go to a 41.123 to the top of the board here in the last 9 shootout. Odds are that should be good enough for him to advance on to the Indianapolis 250. Great run there when it counted the most for Nathan Stapleton. Zack Winkle, the first of the 3 Indy 250 only drivers in this last 9 session. And obviously a very infamous car when it comes to Indianapolis qualifying. So here we go. It's the moment of truth for Zack Winkle. Will he make the show or will he fail to qualify? If he beats a 41.123, he is guaranteed a spot in the Indianapolis 250. Of course, the fastest time so far in this last 9 shootout is held by Nathan Stapleton at a 41.123. Yesterday, Zack Winkle ran a 41.252 and was 33rd fastest overall. We'll have to see if he can be fast enough here to advance on to the greatest race on Napa Fan. Across the line to begin his flying lap. Did not hit 227 like Stapleton, and he was a little bit slower entering turn number 1. 215 off of turn number 1 through turn number 2. He is going to barely hit 208. Down the backstretch. Looks like it might be a bit of a slower time for Zack Winkle compared to Nathan Stapleton. We'll have to see how it compares to Josh King and Noah Clifton. 212 off of turn number 3. Relatively quick there through that corner, and very fast there through turn number 4. He really gained a lot of time through 3 and 4. We'll have to see where he clocks in here at the stripe. Zack Winkle, 41.116. He's in the Indianapolis 250. Fastest driver so far here in the last 9 shootout. And Zack Winkle has broken the curse for the number 66. He's going to race that 66 Chevrolet, I believe. I think it's a Chevrolet. Yes, it is. Into the Indianapolis 250. Congratulations, Zack Winkle. You are in the 2020 Indianapolis 250. 5th driver in the last 9 shootout, Tristen Allen. 1 driver already confirmed to make it in. That is Zack Winkle, who is currently fastest. As there are 3 drivers below him in time, there is no possible way he will be one of the slowest 3 in this session. So congratulations, Zack Winkle. And if Tristen Allen beats Nathan Stapleton's time of 41.123, he will also be in the Indianapolis 250, guaranteed. He ran a 41.223 yesterday. Of course, everyone so far has been faster than everyone who has gone so far yesterday, if you know what I mean. But Josh King, definitely the one to watch out for here. The slowest so far in the last 9 shootout. Not looking good for driver number 18. But then again, in the second half of yesterday's qualifying, a lot of guys at the back of that field who qualified later on in the day ended up driving slower than the guys who went out initially. Tristen Allen, 2:15 off of turn number 1. Pretty fast right there. Turn number 2, he did not hit 2:08. Of course, we saw Zack Winkle gain a lot of time through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if Tristen Allen does the same in the number 39 for Hamill Autosport. 2:18 entering the corner off turn number 3. He's 2:13. He barely hit 2:12. And now through turn number 4, he is going to be minimum 2:14. I'm thinking that Tristen Allen's going to have a pretty good time right here at the stripe. And the number 39, Tristen Allen, goes to a 41.055. Tristen Allen is in the 2020 Indianapolis 250. Congratulations to him. Fast enough to advance on. He does not have to worry anymore. He will be in the show next Sunday. The 6th driver to qualify, Mason Brown. And that 41.123 is still the mark to beat if you want to lock your spot onto the Indianapolis 250. Nathan Stapleton hoping that Nathan Brown goes under that so he can clinch his spot into the Indianapolis 250. But as of right now, Stapleton is not in the show. Of course, Noah Clifton, 41.195, and Josh King, a 41.209, the 2 slowest right now. But remember, the 3 slowest in this last 9 shootout will fail to qualify for the Indianapolis 250, and right now it's not looking good for Josh King. Another thing to remember is that the drivers are considerably getting faster in the session. Mason Brown was 31st quickest yesterday. The guys are getting faster as the session goes along, so those guys who qualified first, they were the slowest guys yesterday. No surprise to see him still be the slowest here today in the last 9 shootout, but no one is officially eliminated yet. We can't confirm Tristen Allen and Zack Winkle are in the Indianapolis 250. We'll have to see what Mason Brown does here on his lap. Entering turn number 3 at 2:17 off of turn number 3. He's really going down there. 2:11 off the corner. I think off of turn 4 is really the big one, though. He's going to stay at 2:13. Not too bad. We'll have to see where this clocks in compared to everybody else. Mason Brown for Hair Gel Autosport. 41.275. That's the slowest time. Nathan Stapleton is in the 2020 Indianapolis 250. And Josh King can breathe a little bit easier now, but he's still far from being safe. Noah Clifton now the one looking to advance on. Tough break for Mason Brown, being the slowest guy here in last 9 shootout qualifying as of now. He's going to go to 33rd, and if anyone is faster than him in these last 3 drivers, he will not make the Indianapolis 250 for 2020. 7th driver here in the last 9 shootout. Brandon Nelson, Indianapolis 250 only driver. The only race he will be attempting this year, and if he beats a 41.195, which is ironically set by his good friend Noah Clifton, he will lock his spot onto the Indianapolis 250. If he is slower than a 41.275, it is guaranteed that he will not make the Indianapolis 250. And Mason Brown is hoping that Brandon Nelson, Ace Garcia, and Christian Messer are all slower than him. But right now it's not looking good for Mason Brown, who is right on the line in 33rd. One more driver faster than him, and he is done. He will not be in the Indianapolis 250. Here we go. Brandon Nelson, the number 60 machine. And he hits 226 for just a little bit entering turn number 1. Off the corner, he is 214. A little bit slower than what we've seen out of a few guys so far, and he really had to check it up there off of turn number 2. 208 for Brandon Nelson. Josh King may end up making it on by the skin of his teeth. We'll have to see. Nelson through turn number 3. He is 212 for a significant amount of time off the corner. Off of turn number 4, he is going to stay at 213, coming to the line for the number 60 of Brandon Nelson. His time will clock in at a 41.208. Oh my goodness. Just ahead of Josh King. Now Josh King will be on the bubble. And unfortunately, Mason Brown has failed to qualify for the 2020 Indianapolis 250. But Brandon Nelson Now on the bubble, Noah Clifton has clinched his spot into the 2020 edition of the race. Only 2 drivers left here in this last 9 shootout. We have Ace Garcia and 2015 winner of this race, Christian Master, the last 2 guys to qualify. If Ace Garcia beats a 41.208, which was just set by Brandon Nelson, Ace Garcia will lock his spot into the Indianapolis 250. Josh King is on the bubble right now, and he is only 1/1000th slower than Brandon Nelson. I have a feeling that's where the mark is going to be set. However, if Ace Garcia is slower than a 41.208, Brandon Nelson will lock his spot into the Indianapolis 250. Unfortunately, Mason Brown has officially failed to qualify for this year's race. Ace Garcia starting his flying lap. Last year he was in the fast 9. This year he's in the last 9. A much different scenario for him. 215 off of turn number 1. And this is the only race Ace Garcia is attempting once again as an Indy 250 only driver. He was 209 as the slowest time off of turn 2. Down the backstretch he goes against the wind. 218 for a considerable amount of time entering turn number 3 off the corner. 212 after slowest. He hit it for about half a second. This is looking like a decent time for Ace Garcia. 213. He hit it just a moment. But I would imagine this is going to be fast enough for Ace Garcia to make it into the 2020 Indianapolis 250. It is 41.105. That's second fastest in the last 9 shootout. Ace Garcia is in the 2020 Indianapolis 250. And unfortunately, Josh King in the number 18 is pushed out. He has failed to qualify for this year's edition of the Indianapolis 250. Brandon Nelson now on the bubble. And 1 driver left, Christian Master, number 59. If Master beats Nelson, Nelson is out. If Nelson beats Master, Master is out himself. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. 1 driver left in the last 9 shootout. And here we go, the last driver to head out onto the racetrack in this last 9 shootout. And how about this scenario here? Christian Master, a defending Indianapolis 250 champion. He's won this race before. And this is going to be his 6th Indianapolis 250 if he can make it in. He has to beat a 41.208 set by Brandon Nelson. Brandon Nelson looking to make his first career Napa fan start. So it's opposite ends of the spectrum right here. The team getting ready, Carlin Racing, they already have Noah Clifton in. Will they get their other driver, their MD 250 championship driver, into this year's Indianapolis 250. It's going to be interesting to see what Master can do in this session. Of course, unfortunately, Josh King and Mason Brown, who were both slated to start in their first ever Indianapolis 250s, neither of them will make it onto this year's event. They are both below the line. It's now going to be either Christian Master or Brandon Nelson, who joins them last year in the last 9 shootout. The last driver to go out was Micah Knapp, and Micah Knapp failed to qualify, so we'll have to see if that translates to anything for Christian Master, but Brandon Nelson is going to be on the edge of his seat here the next 40 seconds when Master gets out onto the racetrack. You might be wondering why I wait until they actually start rolling off to record. This is why, because we're still waiting for Christian Master, but either way, we'll have to see what the number 59 does. Of course, for guys like Josh King and Mason Brown, they'll be back into the race car next week at Lime, or should I say 2 weeks from now at Lime Rock, because next week is the Indianapolis 250. Getting ahead of myself there. But, and Christian Master is the same. But for Brandon Nelson, if Nelson fails to qualify, that's it for him. That's his only chance at racing in anything this year in the Haas IndyCar Series. But the thing is, if he's going to make it in, that means that Christian Master, who has been in this event many times before, would have to be knocked out. This is an Indianapolis 250 winning driver on the verge of elimination. He's got to beat a 41.208 to make it on. If he does so, he is in the Indy 250, and Brandon Nelson is out. If he doesn't, Brandon Nelson going to make his first career Napa fan start next Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Here we go! Across the line, Christian Master beginning his 1 and only lap. He hit 226 for just a little bit there, but he was not too fast entering the corner. 213 to 12 off of turn number 1. And he is majorly slowing down. He had 207 off the corner. Oh boy, that's a disaster. This is not looking good for Christian Master in the number 59. Brandon Nelson may be good to go. We'll have to see if he gains any time in the second part of the racetrack. 2:12 off of turn number 3. What will he do off of turn number 4? 2:13 for a little bit faster through turn 4. Here we go. The moment of truth. Christian Master, Brandon Nelson, 41.208 is what he needs to beat. He's got a 41.298. Brandon Nelson is in the Indianapolis 250. Christian Master has failed to qualify for this year's event. Unbelievable. A defending race winner of the Indianapolis 250, and he barely made it on yesterday, or should I say barely missed making it into the show yesterday, as he was 1/1000th of a second off from locking on 27th starting position. Such a heartbreak for Christian Master. He will join Josh King and Mason Brown as drivers eliminated from this year's Indianapolis 250. And with that, the last 9 shootout is complete, and we know the 33 drivers who will be competing in this year's Indianapolis 250. So Tristen Allen will start alongside Francois Chastain in row number 14. Row 15 will be Ace Garcia and Zack Winkle. Row 16 will be Nathan Stapleton and Noah Clifton. And in the final row, all by himself, Brandon Nelson by 1/1000th of a second makes it into this year's Indianapolis 250. The drivers who have failed to qualify for the 2020 Indianapolis 250 include Josh King, Mason Brown, and Christian Master. However, they will return to the Haas IndyCar Series 2 weeks from now at the Lime Rock Park. So that's out of the way. And before we get to the Fast 9 shootout, we got another shootout to announce. And I think you guys are going to like it. Check it out. It's going to be happening middle of June right here on Napa Fan, from a very famous racetrack.
Lately, I've been dreaming, thinking that maybe we're all gonna win. 'Cause I've been losing sleep, fighting something. I think it's time to let go. I think it's time to let go. I think it's time to let go.
And we are majorly looking forward to this year's rendition of the now Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We had this event last year, and it was a total blast, and we'll do it again. 3 straight nights of racing action from that historic racetrack in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And not only that, this year the Chick-fil-A Cup is going to be joining the festivities with their throwback race at North Wilkesboro. Just going to be one huge party for 3 straight nights of racing action there. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, June 11th through 13th. And not only that, we'll be doing it in honor of all those on the front lines of COVID-19. And we'll also attempt to do a fundraiser, something along those lines. Everything's still in the works for that, but we do know that the event will be awesome. We hope you join along with that. Signs will be very soon for that event, actually. I am thinking it's probably going to be the weekend after Memorial Day weekend, about 2 weeks from now. But more information will come up in the NOFSRL Discord and, of course, here on Napa Fan. And once again, a huge thanks to Alex Bonsignor for putting the event on every year for us. And, of course, I help him out a lot with it, of course. But we're definitely looking forward to it. One of our favorite special events to do every year, and we're going to have another blast with it from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. All right, we're here now to have a little fun. The Fast 9 Shootout. And this is for the Indy 250 poll. It's a pretty big deal. The winner of the poll received 10 championship points, And mind to tell you, I've yet to mention this yet, but the Indianapolis 250 is not a double points race. Of course, it was like that last year as well. So these points are going to mean quite a bit going down the road in the championship, most likely, and especially considering the drivers we have in this Fast 9 shootout, and you'll see the drivers list here in a moment. I think these guys are going to be championship contenders. This is how they'll line up here. This is how they will qualify in this specific order. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And they each get one lap, just like we always have done all weekend long, and that lap stands as their Fast 9 shootout time. And the fastest driver in this Fast 9 shootout will win the Indianapolis 250 pole, and let me tell you, it's going to be good. This is how they line up. Nicolas Samudio, Garrett Zenor, Owen Miles, Marty Johnson, Matt Tuck, Thomas Troxel, John Andrews, Jesse Turner, and last year's Indianapolis 250 champion who was fastest yesterday in the Indianapolis 250 qualifying day number 1, Audra Baranowskis. This is a loaded field, and I can't begin to tell you who I think is going to win this pole. So let's go down and get started. Nicolas Samudio, first driver out there on the racetrack for the Fast 9 shootout. Here we go, Fast 9 shootout about to begin. Nicolas Samudio, who was 9th fastest yesterday, ran a 41.088 yesterday. Gonna lead us to the green flag for the Fast 9 shootout. Of course, Nicolas Samudio, a defending race winner of this race. Now, the last defending race winner to hit the racetrack of this race did not do so well, and unfortunately, Christian Masters is going to fail to qualify. But for Samudio, nothing to lose here. You're going for the pole, going for some points as well. Of course, Samudio full-time in the championship. It's going to be good to see what Marquis sets here in Indy 250 Fast 9 qualifying. The fastest time in the last 9 shootout was a 41.055, which was very fast. That would have been 6th yesterday. Tristen Allen set that in number 39. We'll have to see how Samudio compares to that time. I can imagine these guys are going to be a little bit faster than the last 9, but then again, they might not be. But all we know is that they don't have to worry about getting eliminated. They're going for the pole. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. Samudio, not too good there through the corner. Hit 208 off of turn number 2. I'm really intrigued to see what Audra Baranowskis does. She was the only driver to go under 41 seconds yesterday. We'll have to see if she can do it again. Nobody else has gone under 41 seconds all weekend in a single car run. Samudio 213 off of turn number 4. He is going to clock in right here. Gonna go to a 41.216. Not the best of times at all, but just for the pole, Samudio will still have a top 9 starting position regardless. Second guy here in the Fast 9 shootout. Pretty fast driver, Garrett Zenor. Number 19 was 8th quickest yesterday at a 41.075. We'll have to see how he compares to Samudio's 41.216. Odds are, I think it'll be faster. That 216 is one of the slowest times we've seen today. That would have gotten him eliminated if this was the last 9 shootout, but good thing for Samudio. Did well yesterday, so he didn't have to worry about that. But Garrett Zenor, been a while since he's raced on Napafan. Of course, we mentioned it yesterday. And the last time he won a race on Napafan was, I believe, November of 2017. Truck race at Armory Digital. Heck, the last time he won a race on Napafan, it was the NRLOA. And that was a year before the NRLOA closed. So it's been too long for this gentleman right here. Let's see what he does here in Indy 250 qualifying Fast 9 shootout 215 as the slowest off of turn 1. Entering turn number 2, 209 is the slowest. I'd imagine this lap's going to be much faster than Samudio's time. Of course, Zenor's teammate, Josh King, failed to qualify, which is a little bit interesting right there, but Zenor definitely with a fast race car, and a lot more experience of that as well. 19-time winner on Napafan. Wouldn't it be something if number 20 came right here, breaking a 2.5-year losing streak on Napafan in the Indianapolis 250? That would be a special moment. It's going to have a good starting position, I'll tell you that much. 41.025. That is the fastest time we've seen all day. And Garrett Zenor goes to the top of the board here in the Fast 9 shootout. Third driver in the Fast 9 shootout, and this was a guy I was very impressed with yesterday. No doubt a David amongst Goliaths here in this Fast 9 shootout. Rookie Owen Miles, the only rookie in this Fast 9 shootout. And of course, he's the only driver in this Fast 9 shootout who I believe has never won a race on Napafan either. So, He's going against guys like Jesse Turner, Garrett Sonor, Nicolas Samudio, Audra Baranowskis, Marty Johnson, Matt Tuck, Thomas Troxel, John Andrews. All of those guys have so much on their resume. Owen Miles doesn't yet. Maybe he'll add an Indy 250 pole to that. But I'd imagine Trey Wright is very proud of his driver Owen Miles for stepping up yesterday. And he was very early on in the session yesterday as well. When he clocked his time in, we didn't know how he would stand later on. Turned out it was fast enough for a Fast 9 shootout attempt. And here he goes for his flying lap. Just barely hit 214 off of turn number 1. Slowing down there through turn number 2. Hit 208 there for a little bit. I don't know if anyone's going to get Sonor's time. I mean, Audra Baranowskis, watch out for her. She's got one of the quickest cars out here. But Sonor definitely put down a fast time. A time that would have been third quickest yesterday. So Sonor definitely has a fast race car. Owen Miles, 2:13 at the slowest off of turn number 4 at the stripe. I don't think it's going to be as fast as Sonor. I think it's going to beat Samudio, though. 41.171. He will. Second fastest right now for Owen Miles. Not enough for the pole, but he will get some points towards the championship. All these guys in the Fast 9 shootout will get some points towards the championship in the Haas IndyCar Series. Good job there by Owen Miles. And he's going to have a good starting position for the Indianapolis 250. Marty Johnson, number 75. Next driver in line. I think it's pretty cool that Marty's going to go and then Matt Tuck's going to go. Oh boy, these are two guys. They're two guys, man. That's all I got to say. Good friends, both from the same area. Gonna be interesting to see who beats who in this one. I'm hoping that they made a little wager on who would be fastest here in the Fast 9 shootout. We'll have to see. Marty Johnson for Otter Island Motorsports this year, number 75. Of course, he's been in this race. This is going to be his 4th attempt at the Indianapolis 250. Of course, he's in the show already, of course. But will he win the pole? I don't know about that. Garrett Sonor put down a really fast time. We'll have to see if Marty can beat it. Entering the corner, 2:26, hit it for about half a second. Off of turn number 1, 2:14 at the slowest for the number 75 through turn number 2. He's going to hit 2:08, not the best times here for Marty Johnson. Got to keep in mind, too, Matt Tuck is a teammate to Audra Baranowskis. Those Andretti guys definitely got something under the hood, or should I say, behind the driver. That's where the engine is. They've definitely figured a lot out. 2:12 off of turn 3 for Marty Johnson through turn number 4. Hit 2:13 there for about a second. We'll have to see. I'm imagining this is going to be close to Owen Miles' time at the stripe. Marty Johnson, 41.173. And let me tell you, that's about as close as you can get to Owen Miles' time without actually beating him. 2/1000th off the 38. Marty Johnson goes to 3rd here in the Fast 9 shootout. Garrett Sonor is still the fastest. Here we go. Matt Tuck. Will it be Marty Johnson's time? I think that he cares more about that than winning this pole. We'll have to see. Like I mentioned, teammate to Audra Baranowskis, Matt Tuck. This is going to be his 3rd Indianapolis 250. Definitely done a great job so far during Indy 250 week. Was fast in practice, was fast yesterday. Had a 41.048 yesterday. A lot of potential in this number 28 machine to possibly knock off Garrett Sonor. Of course, Andretti Autosport, their team owner, Fisher G, they brought a little bit of something here this weekend. Obviously, they got a couple of strong drivers and an Indy 250 champion as well, so they are definitely going to be a threat to win the championship in both the owners and drivers championships here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Matt Tuck across the line. He's going to hit 2:26 for a little bit there, entering turn number 1. 2:14 for a split second off the corner. And he's not going to get through turn number 2 very well. 2:08 off the corner there for Matt Tuck. Sonor really set the bar for these guys in the Fast 9 shootout, I do believe. I think Audra Baranowskis might be the only driver able to get to that time that Sonor set. There's 2:12 off the corner for Matt Tuck. We'll have to see if he beats Marty Johnson, though. I mean, Marty Johnson barely missed out on Owen Miles' time. We'll have to see if Matt Tuck can beat the number 75. Here we go. Across the line, Matt Tuck's going to be a 41.165. Up to 2nd. Matt Tuck beat Marty. Matt Tuck, 2nd fastest right now, but still nowhere near Sonor's time. Matt Tuck, though, definitely going to have a good starting position in this year's Indianapolis 250. We only have ourselves 4 drivers left here in the Fast 9 shootout. Next guy in line, Thomas Troxel in the number 17. And Troxel definitely, I don't want to say one of the dark horse drivers for this Indy 250, but I would not be in any way surprised if he came home with the race victory. This guy knows what he's doing. Won at Texas last year in the Haas IndyCar Series. It is pretty much the second wildest race, maybe actually the wildest race we have all season. But Troxel, definitely in a good position here. We'll have to see if he can beat Sonora's 41.025. No surprise to see Troxel in this Fast 9 shootout either. His second full-time season in the Haas IndyCar Series, his second Indianapolis 250. Let's see what he does here. He hit 225 right as he crossed the line. He hit 227, just a little bit entering turn number 1. Looking a little fast right now. 215 at the slowest for Thomas Troxel now through turn number 2. And 209. Did not hit 208 there off the corner. This is going to be close to Sonora's time, I think. A very fast lap for Thomas Troxel. Going to hit 219 entering turn number 3. Barely hit 212 off the corner right there through turn number 4. This is definitely where it all matters, and he went as low as 214, but that was it. Here we go. We got another fast time here in the Fast 9 shootout. 41.049, not enough for Sonora, but he goes to second. Thomas Troxel second quickest here in the Fast 9 shootout with 3 drivers left to qualify. Will he start on the front row, or will somebody knock him off as well? Sonora still the fastest in the Fast 9 shootout. Only 3 drivers left. John Andrews back on the racetrack. I mentioned that Thomas Troxel is a dark horse. I'm thinking John Andrews might even be a bigger dark horse. He was 3rd fastest yesterday, 41.029. That's only 4 1,000 slower than what Sonora set here in the Fast 9 shootout. We'll have to see if Andrews has anything for driver number 19. Definitely interested to see how this is going to go for John Andrews. Of course, it's only going to be a second, or should I say 3rd Indianapolis 250. Second full-time season. But Andrews has definitely shown to be very strong this weekend here at the Brickyard. Here we go, off of turn number 4, coming across the line. Gonna start his flying lap. A little bit slower at the line than a couple other guys. 226 entering turn number 1, so he didn't hit 227, but he did not hit 214, hit 215 off of turn number 1. Going to hit 208 though off of turn number 2. This probably will not match Sonora's or Troxel's time, but he might have a shot at 3rd ahead of Matt Tuck. Off of turn number 3, 212 for John Andrews, now through turn number 4. Slowest time off is 213. This will definitely be slower than Sonora and Troxel. We'll see where he files in here for the Fast 9 shootout. John Andrews at a 41.143. He goes to 3rd, beats Matt Tuck off for that position. Good run there for John Andrews. Only 2 drivers remain. Will they knock off Garrett Sonora? Will Sonora win the Indy 250 pole? The only Indy 250 only driver in this Fast 9 shootout, it's Jesse Turner in the number 63. He's had a very good weekend so far. Won the All-Star race, was second fastest yesterday with a 41.012. That's been the second fastest time all weekend as well. So this number 63 Indy 250 only ride is really, really quick. And Jesse Turner been on a hot streak lately here on Napa Fan. We'll see if he can beat Sonora's time and possibly win the Indy 250 pole. 41.025, the time set by Garrett Sonora, currently fastest here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jesse Turner across the line to begin his flying lap. Wasn't quite as fast entering turn number 1 as some of the other competitors. 212 off of turn number 1. This probably will not be a good lap for Turner. He was 2 away for quite a while there. Hey, at least you tried. Got into the Fast 9. He's going to have a good starting position, and he's not even in it for points either, so nothing really lost for Jesse Turner either way. He's still going to have a good shot at winning this Indianapolis 250. No doubt about it. Of all the Indy 250 only drivers, this guy has the best chance. No question about it. Obviously going to have the best starting position of all the Indy 250 only drivers in the race. And he's Jesse freaking Turner. 41.257. That's the slowest time here in the Fast 9 shootout, but take care of the car. make sure it's good for the race. That's what Jesse is going to do right there. He goes to 8th. And here we go. One last driver in the Fast 9 shootout. It's Audra Baranowskis in the number 27, who was the only driver to go under 41 seconds yesterday. Let's see what she does in her flying lap in the Fast 9 shootout. And here she is, Audra Baranowskis in the number 27, not wasting any time getting onto the racetrack. Jumping right out there. She knows she has a fast race car. We'll have to see what she can do compared to the rest of these guys. She has to beat a 41.025 set by Garrett Sonor if she will win the Indianapolis 250 pole position. If not, Garrett Sonor is going to win the pole for this great race. For Audra Baranowskis, the winner of this race last year, obviously a huge threat to win this year's event, as well as we saw yesterday, the only driver going under 41 seconds at a 40.969. And here she comes across the line to start her flying lap here in Indianapolis. Thank you guys so much for watching here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Had a great time doing these qualifications, but the fun's just getting started here for Indy 250 week. Gonna have ourselves a Hers Dashies race here tomorrow, Turkey Hill Series on Tuesday, and of course, all leading up to the Indianapolis 250 next Sunday, May 24th at noon Eastern Time. Will it be Baranowskis or will it be Sonor? Baranowskis was rather slow there off the corner. It's looking like Garrett Sonor is going to win the pole position here for this year's Indianapolis 250. How about that for Garrett Sonor? Hasn't raced in 9 months on NAPAFan. Last race was the finale in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series last August. And his return to NAPAFan, he is going to lead the field of the green flag in the greatest race on NAPAFan, the Indianapolis 250. Garrett Sonor has won the pole for the 2020 NOFSRL Indianapolis 250. Audra Baranowskis will start in the 9th position alongside Edgar Barreto for the event. 41.345. She probably used up all her stuff yesterday getting that really fast time in. But either way, let's go ahead and give you the starting grid for the Indianapolis 250 here from Indianapolis. And that will do it from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here today on this fine Sunday afternoon. This is how they will line up for the 2020 NOFSRL Indianapolis 250 next Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Garrett Sonor, your pole sitter, 10 points towards the championship for him. Thomas Troxell will start in the 2nd position alongside him in row number 1. John Andrews, Matt Tuck, Owen Miles, Marty Johnson, Nicolas Samudio, Jesse Turner, and Audra Baranowskis. The top 9 in this Fast 9 shootout. And Edgar Barreto will start alongside him with Mitchell Henderson, Jordan Lopez, Chase Harris, Max Anderson, Dale Lightning, Mitchell Collins, Nathan Faden, Luke Rainey, Andrew Miller, Davey Johnson, Cole Speed, Ryan Durrani, Justin Zaidel, Thomas Lipscomb, Buck Hover, Peyton Hamilton, Francois Chastain. And then in the last 9 shootout, if I can find it, and there it is on my screen, on my second screen, Tristen Allen, Ace Garcia, Zack Winkle, Nathan Stapleton, Noah Clifton, and Brandon Nelson. Those are the 33 drivers in order of how they will line up for next week's Indianapolis 250 here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Exactly 7 days from this very moment, they will be roaring around this racetrack at over 220 miles per hour for the greatest race on NAPAFan. Unfortunately, 3 drivers did fail to qualify. Josh King in the 18, Mason Brown in the 37, and the 2015 winner of this event, Christian Master, in the number 59. The good thing for those drivers is they will be back in the race car for the second race of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series 2 weeks from now from the Lime Rock Park. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like I mentioned, tomorrow we're going to have the Hers Dash Series from Indianapolis for their 13th race of the season, I do believe. So stick around for that. We got events all week here on NAPAFan at all different types of racetracks. We're going to go to IRP and the Turkey Hill Series on Tuesday. So much to look forward to here for Indy 250 week on NAPAFan and in the NOFSRL as well. So much going on, and we are glad you're here enjoying all this with us here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congratulations to Garrett Sonor, your 2020 Indianapolis 250 pole sitter. And we will see you guys next week for the Indianapolis 250. Of course, we have Carb Day as well. We'll see you guys for Carb Day. Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on NAPAFan. The 33 guys who qualify will practice one more time before the big race. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. And congratulations to Garrett Knorr for winning the pole in the Indianapolis 250. I will see you guys later.